Today, I'm going to be sharing some low cost or no cost things you can do to fill your calendar. The first thing that I'm going to share, it's one of the most overlooked things because it's difficult to do. Most people don't want to do it. But here's the thing. Most people want to have six-pack abs. They want to have that beach body, but they're not willing to put in the time, effort, energy, and fix their diet in order to get there. Well, this is one of those things. The number one thing that you can do to get started that most contractors and most people in the personal services businesses don't do is outreach, cold outreach. What do I mean by cold outreach? Well, first thing you can do is go to networking events. A lot of networking events seem to be like a social club. That's not your intent to be at a networking event. The networking event is to meet other people who could use your services and then set up a follow-up meeting with them on how you can fill that need and see if they can hire you to do whatever it is that you do, whether you're plumbing, HVAC, electrical, accounting, massage services, whatever it is. Your networking event is meant for you to set up an appointment at a later date so you can present to them what you do and see if you can fulfill that need for them and get regular, consistent work from them. The next thing is even more difficult. A lot of people hate this piece of advice, but if your calendar is empty, if you've got empty spots, and if you're not yet at that $1 million mark in your revenue, this is something that is going to help you. I even suggest this for my clients who I coach to do even if they're at that $1 million level. You need to do some cold calling. Now, I don't mean just calling anybody and everybody. I mean, have some strategy who you're going to call. So number one, they have to be someone in a related industry or someone who can actually give you consistent, ongoing work for the future. So let's say you are a plumbing and HVAC contractor. You'd be looking for building contractors or renovation contractors, someone in that vein who can give you ongoing, consistent work. Does this suck? Yeah, it sucks. At first, it's difficult, but then it becomes easier. So make a list of those contractors who could possibly be an ongoing source of work for you. The other people that you can contact are people in related industries to you. So if you're a plumbing and HVAC contractor, look for larger plumbing and HVAC contractors who may have work you can build relationships with, and it's something that they don't really specialize in. Maybe they have work that they just don't want to do or don't have time for because it's such a small job. If they're a contractor that does big multifamily developments, let's say, and they get a small service job, replacing a toilet, fixing a leak, maintaining a boiler system or something like that they just don't touch, they can pass that work on to you. It comes down to building a relationship with people. Now, is it going to happen the very first time you pick up the phone with them? Probably not. It's going to be something that you're going to have to build over time with them, start building that relationship, maybe meet up for a coffee or lunch or something just to start building a relationship and continue to maintain that relationship. The problem with cold calling is most people don't do it for long enough to see the results. You have to come up with a good list of at least 100 different companies that you would want to do work with that could potentially provide you with ongoing work and call them relentlessly until they cry, buy, or die. The next area of focus that I tell my clients to go after is their warm market. Okay, so you've done the cold calling, you've done the networking. Let's attack your warm market. Who is my warm market? Okay, so people who you have done work for in the past, but maybe they haven't contacted you in a little while. Reach back out to them. Maybe they have something that they've got going on. Maybe they've got a project that's starting up and you just didn't come to mind. Well, it's up to you to remind them. It's not up to them to think about you. It's up to you to make sure that you're top of mind for them. So reach out to the people you have done work with in the past. Maybe they've got a project and they just forgot about you. You'd be surprised at how many times that opens up avenues and doors to new jobs and new projects that just you thought didn't exist. The next group of people in your warm market are your friends and family. These are people who know you, like you, trust you. They may know somebody who could use your services. A lot of times your friends and family will have some kind of small talk. Oh, hey, what are you doing for work? What do you do now? Well, that's a perfect opportunity for you to tell them exactly what you do. And then you can give them an ask. Hey, do you know anybody who can use my services? Do you know anybody who could use a handyman? Do you know anybody who can use plumbing service or HVAC or has a furnace need? Do you know anybody in the building industry? Do you know a contractor that I could call? Making those connections and that conversation with your warm market can open up opportunities for you. So don't ignore them. Make that small talk and let them know what you're looking for. Because if you don't let them know, how are they going to know and how can they refer you out to anybody? The next step I have is make video content. You might say, whoa, hang on, wait a minute. Make video content? I got to shoot videos? What is that all about? I'm an electrician. I'm not a movie star. I don't want to make content. I'm not some kind of influencer. Okay, I get it. It's uncomfortable. It's not normal. It's not natural. It doesn't feel right. Would you rather be broke and have an empty calendar, or would you rather have a multi-million-dollar business that continues to grow year over year? I thought you might like the latter. So what do I mean by making video content? The best high-value content that you can make as a contractor or somebody in the personal services business is on the job, doing what you do best, or shooting video of your employees doing the stuff that you do, outlining your expertise, showing and demonstrating value as to why you are the best choice for a contractor or someone else to hire you. When you are demonstrating your value, demonstrating your expertise, it gives you validity in the marketplace. Why? Because, like we talked about earlier, nobody likes doing it. Everybody hates making videos. It's uncomfortable. It's weird. It feels awkward. It doesn't feel natural. But if you're the guy who does it, the one person in your town who actually highlights his expertise, becomes a known entity, you get notoriety, you become well known in your industry and in your area. Who do you think they're going to call when a project comes up? They're going to be calling you, at least to give you an opportunity to bid on their job. To me, making video content is a no-brainer, simply because, number one, it's a very blue ocean. Not a lot of people in your town, in your city, are going to be doing it. Sure, you can see lots of videos on how to, but they're not usually in your town. A lot of times, they're from somewhere out of country or out of province or out of your city. It's just not practical for them to call up that particular influencer to get them to come and do their job. No, but for you in your local community, if you are the known entity for whatever expertise it is, whether it be plumbing, building, framing, electrical, renovation, handyman services, whatever that is, if you're the guy in your local area who's making content and videos, you're the guy who is quote unquote famous for that, they're going to be calling you. They're going to be looking up your business. They're going to try and hire you some way. Why? Because they already know you, like you, trust you. They like the content that you've been putting out. It makes sense to them. You're a trusted entity. They're going to be calling you. Making video content consistently just supports the other activities that you're doing. So if you do cold call somebody and you let them know your name, your business name, and they search you up afterwards, they're going to find your video content. They're going to be looking at that, and it may tip the scales in your favor to landing that next job. So if you're wanting to keep your calendar filled, you want to grow a multi-million-dollar business, you got to do the hard things. It's not only about doing what's comfortable. Everybody tries to pay to make their problems go away. What I mean by that is they think that if I magically just invest in digital marketing, all of my calendar problems will go away. I will immediately get a number of sales and projects that'll keep me busy forever. It's the genie in the bottle. It's the magic potion that's going to help me to fill my calendar. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but it doesn't always work that way. You might say, hey man, don't you guys do digital marketing? Yes, of course we do. Digital is very important. However, when you're just getting started and your website is fresh, brand new, and you're just getting started in Google Ads, it can take a while for things to get dialed in and start working and producing the quality leads that you're looking for. You also have to keep in mind, if you're in a very competitive niche, a very competitive industry, there are companies and people who can outspend you on marketing every single day of the week. So it can be much more difficult for you to get the results you're looking for if you're on a limited budget. That's what this video is for people who don't have a multi-million-dollar advertising budget to spend on getting new work. This is for people who want to put in the work, do the hard things, and become successful. Another method to keep your calendar filled is use email. You have a list of customers. Hopefully you've been keeping organized and have a spreadsheet of all of your clients that you've helped in the past or in a CRM. Either way, use that list to get more business. How do you do that? Let's say, for example, you're an electrician and you're trying to fill up the calendar with some empty slots that are there. You could put out an email to your list saying, hey, for the next 10 customers, we've got a $99 special. First 10 who respond, you can get the first hour of electrical work done for $99 plus materials. And then of course, after that, every hour is billed at your regular rate. You can use your email list in a number of different ways. You can do it for promotions. You can do it for company updates. And if you wanted to share the latest video that you made and posted on YouTube. All of these are great ways to stay connected with your audience, stay connected with your customers, so that when a project comes up, when something happens, you're top of mind and they're going to give you a call and fill that calendar space for you. Like I said at the beginning of this video, these are things that most people in your position won't do. They won't do them because they're hard. They would rather rely on digital marketing or advertising to bring in that business. The problem is you may run out of money or out of time before your calendar gets filled and you can build and grow your business. This is how businesses used to do things before there was the internet, before there was digital marketing, before all these things. Yes, I know the argument is there that, oh, digital platforms, they've evened the playing field for the small guy. They did for a while. And yes, you're able to make content and put it out to thousands and thousands of people on a weekly basis. You can put your content out to thousands of people in an instant. That's true. However, larger companies, like I said in the beginning, larger companies with bigger budgets can always beat you every single day of the week with advertising. I believe it was Dan Kennedy who said, he who can spend the most on advertising wins. And that's still true today. The big companies who can spend more than you on advertising are going to win more often than not. You have to do the hard things. You have to think of yourself like someone who's trying to sculpt their body into a magnificent specimen. You've got to eat boiled chicken, broccoli, and rice 3 meals a day and work out 5 times a week. Like, this is your thing. And doing these things that I recommend in this video is what that's like. Nobody likes doing it, but they sure enjoy the results. By the end of it, people are going to be looking at you going, oh, wow, must have been so easy for him. Must have been so easy for her to build that company. Look at how easy they have it now. But they don't see the hours that you spent cold calling, reaching out, networking, creating cold emails, reaching out to your warm market, making video content. It all seems easy to people from the outside. It all seems to them like you're some kind of overnight success, when really you know how difficult it was to get it going. And if you look closely enough, you'll see that every overnight success took a really, really long time. That's all I got for today, guys. And I hope that this gives you the spark that you need to get started on this journey and doing the hard things to really grow your business. That's it for me, folks. I'm Trevor with Inspired Method. And if you are looking to grow your business, we'd sure love to help you. Go to inspiredmethod.com and fill out the form today. Thanks.